So I had jury duty. And I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it legally, right?
I don't know. You're the one that probably got the brief on what to do and not to do, right?
There was a lot of information thrown at me. But man, it was so like mind-numbingly boring. And people talk about that, but they don't like prepare you for what the reality of that is.
Why?
Because so this particular case they were calling us on was like one regular lawyer, right? And like the defendant and his lawyer versus like 4 assistant DAs. And I was like, this is already not a great look, right? Like they've got like 5 lawyers on their team, 4 of which were present, and then you got that guy, you know.
Was he a public defender?
I think so. But they also, before they were picked us as jurors or not, they gave us like some very basic rundowns of the charges and stuff, and like what the punishments and what all these definitions meant. And I know they had to do that because there's probably a lot of people who are like, I have no clue what these words mean, you know, like criminal words and
You mean
charges.
not everyone puts on police interrogation videos while they're putting on their makeup? What?
And they were like, we want to make sure that you guys know it's not like Law and Order SVU, okay? But
Dun, dun. That's their thing, right?
yeah, exactly.
See, I know it.
But they did a really good job putting together their presentation, talking about like your rights and the law, and like, you know, subtly weaving in questions to kind of like see who they do and don't want on the case.
Did you have to answer questions?
Yeah. They would just be like, I was number 85, and they'd be like, number 85, what about you? And I'd have to like tell them my opinion.
Not what they're paying me for. Yeah, that's what a juror does.
Basically,
they're getting paid for their
the question
opinion.
they had asked me was about, I can't remember specifics, but it was about basically if I think that people can be rehabilitated, you know, and if I, like, what do I think kind of crimes you can come back from? And my autistic ass was like, well, it depends.
They were looking for yes or no. And you're like, depends on the case. Now, like, she's out.
Yeah, no. And then they called on several people after me, and they were all like, well, yeah, I liked her answer. And because the subject matter was really strong, but for like most criminal cases, I really do think it depends on the person. So Kat's like, why is your shit in my way?
Yeah, as soon as you moved it, she goes, all right, I'll be over here.
Leave my cable alone.
It's her cable. You're just living. Wait.
But for the most part, it was just sitting around for hours in a chair. It was kind of like being at the airport, except for I wasn't allowed to be on my phone.
I will spray you with everything I own, Kat. She turned into like a little machine gun. You know what's more exciting than jury duty?
Everything.
The intro. It's episode 147.
Woo!
We are here to discuss the guilt and innocence of all people. What's the relation? Like, they're all innocent.
Until proven guilty.
Oh, that part too. And
no, in the criminal justice system, shit. It's been so long since I've watched it.
Anyway, this is
but they're like, these are their stories.
It's not magic points. It's mindless prattle. And we're here to talk to you about things that we experience, things that we didn't want to experience, but did anyway. Dude, your cat is tripping right now. She's been perfectly fine for 3 hours, and now all of a sudden she's like, I heard you talking to no one. So we're gonna walk through here.
Jordan likes to call this one the FOMO kitty because she has to be up our ass all the time.
Anytime we both walk to a different room, it's within a couple minutes she will walk back in that room too. Girl, you locked her in here this morning. She definitely ate some plastic. Like, it was all over the floor.
Well, I ate plastic when I was a kid, and I'm fine.
She wasn't fine to start though. Like,
Neither was I.
what are you doing, Kat? Yeah, I don't know. You're not coming after my cable now. Just pick her up. Do something with that thing. I don't know what she's doing. She'll figure it out. But welcome back to our 6 days of Christmas episodes or New Year's episodes, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. I don't know what all the things are. All of the episodes towards the end of the year.
Christmas.
We've been just super enjoying recording all these early, and I've been just overly joyed to have to edit all these episodes in the same day. But that's the price we pay for taking weeks off this year. So it's fun.
I thought you were going to say for stardom.
No. The date of recording, I'll just throw this out there. It's the 16th. We are still do you know when the actual anniversary of the start of the podcast is? Not when the first episode came out, but when we recorded the first episode. It's a trivia question. It was in December.
The 27th?
It's a day. No, it was not right after Christmas. It is a day that is near to us. That's why I was bringing it up. But that's okay if you don't know it.
Do you know it?
Yes, that's
why I brought it up. Did you know it before you looked it up?
Huh? Yes, I did. Because it's my friend's birthday as well.
Okay.
So, yes, I did know.
That makes sense.
What day it was. You don't know though?
No, I don't. What is it?
All right. Well, the day we record. Well, I wouldn't say the day we first recorded, but the day we started. We got all the products and microphones and plans and the name and everything, and recorded the first episode was December 18th, 2022. So that's what happened. So we're a couple days shy of 3 years. I think we're recording episode 150 on the 18th, so it's on our 3 year. Be great.
Wow.
But we're on season 3.
It makes sense, but
it's
it
one
just
season a year.
When I think about things in that long-term view, I'm like, holy crap.
Yep, I know. It's hard to believe, but yes, it's true. I have been amazing for at least 3 years.
You've been amazing for longer than that.
Got weirdly sentimental there.
Okay. So would you be down to answer some questions about crime as not
you know what they say in improv? No, let's move on.
So if you were falsely accused of a crime, who would you want to defend you?
A good lawyer.
But
no, that's the end of the sentence. Did you want a shitty lawyer?
No, but is there a real lawyer or an imaginary lawyer that you're like, I want that guy on my team?
No, I don't know that many good lawyers, bad lawyers.
What about the
lawyers
Lincoln lawyer?
I think that's the only lawyer show that I've ever even partaken of. So sure, him. Either one, Matthew McConaughey or the TV show. Either one, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you have a real lawyer whose name you'd like to throw out there? Be like, they're gonna defend me. I don't think you know a lawyer besides ones you heard in ads.
Okay, I don't think so because most of the time the lawyers aren't the ones who are doing anything. It's in really famous cases, it's the police fucked up the investigation so badly that the lawyer doesn't even have to try. They just have to be look, you can't prove it because the police fucked it up.
Yeah, that's what defense lawyers do. They prove that there's some fault in the prosecutor's case that makes it so their client is not guilty. That's it. There's a lot of ways to do that. I think they're the defense attorneys for Luigi are trying to get a lot of the evidence thrown out. What?
It just took me a second to be like, who? Oh, yeah.
Because they pointed out the other day that he was in handcuffs within seconds of them walking into that McDonald's. They searched his items without a warrant, and it was out of his immediate control as soon as they arrested him. So, like, how can you tell us that anything that you found in or around his person was his?
They didn't read him his rights, and then they took his bag and like took it out of sight, turned off all their cameras, gave it to another police officer, and transported it somewhere else.
Yeah, and then searched it, and
And then
was
magically
like,
there's
by the
stuff
way,
there."
here's what's inside it, and he's like, you can't prove that stuff was mine. You're like, yeah, crazy.
If you could instantly know the truth about like one famous true crime case, like, do you have one that you'd be like, I want to know?
What? You mean not everyone listens to true crime while they're doing their makeup in the mornings? Some of us just suffer with the mirror in front of us.
This morning, I wanted to listen to true crime. I was going to look at videos because I had some time before work, and I was like, oh, I'll do my makeup. It'll be nice. Our neighbors were yelling at each other for like a good 15, 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And it was like 3:45 in the morning, right? Like,
Yeah.
It was a good 7 minutes of like straight screaming. And then it got like a little sporadic from there, and then it tapered off. But I couldn't hear what they were yelling about. So it was Spanish and then crying. And like, there was a lot going on. But I was just, instead of turning on anything, I was just kind of like trying to listen and being nosy.
Jeez, such
being like,
neighbor.
I hope this is normal fighting, not like I need to call the popo fighting.
There was one time in college, me and my roommates were in an apartment. We had just moved. I think we were sophomores. We had just moved off campus, and we heard this screaming outside, this yelling, screaming, and we're like, "What what is going on?"
Yeah.
We went outside. There was our neighbors, who I don't think we shared a wall with them. I think they were diagonal, like across from us. But they were screaming at each other and like yelling and this and that. And myself and one of my roommates were out there and we're like, what is happening right now? And then got roped into it. And they're like, you come mediate. We need to do this, this, and this. And we're like, okay. So we were there for a while, and we're like, we could just call the police to settle this. And they're like, no, this and that and the other, blah, 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 whatever, love, sure. And it culminated with the guy demanding that his gaming PC be returned to him, which was in her apartment, I guess, or their apartment, I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. The computer came outside, right? We got the computer outside, and then she's like, you can sleep out here, whatever, right? So he's holding the computer out. It's Arizona. It was cold as fuck. I remember that.
Yeah, it snowed there.
And he goes, all right. And we're like, well, you're not staying with us, man. I don't know what you want us to do from here. We're just trying to make sure people weren't getting like murdered because it sounded bad.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah. He's like, I got a friend coming. They're going to pick me up in a minute. We're like, okay. So that sounds good. Well, this car pulls up. Couple minutes later, he goes down, puts the computer in the back. Well, this woman gets out of the driver's seat. She says something about like, oh, she's kicking you out again. You're always welcome in my. I thought it was strange, the wording, because you would think it'd be like, you're welcome in my home. No, she said, you're always welcome in my bed. And then they got in and drove off. And a few minutes later, I guess the silence was getting to her because woman number one from the apartment comes out, wondering where he is, knocks on our door.
Bitch, what?
Knocks on our door because I guess it's a good assumption, right? Maybe he's in with us. He's like, is he in here? And we're like, no, he got in some car.
Do you want him to be like?
I think she was looking to continue the fight with him or something because she was still pretty heated about it. But she came knocking on our door. We open it up and we're like, what's going on? Is everything all right? Like maybe he came back or whatever. She's like, where is he? And we're like, oh, he got in a car with somebody and they drove off. And she just goes, is it that bitch? I can't remember the name. And we're like, I don't know. I didn't get a name. You're like, does she look like this? And I was like, yeah, a little bit. It was kind of dark. It's hard to see from up here. It's, the middle of the night. She's like, I knew he'd go back to her. I'm glad this was a test. And then just walked away and slammed her own door. And I was like, all right, I don't know what we were testing here, but sure, whatever. I'm like, I hope you're doing better. I don't know. Like,
I feel like if you have to test your relationship, there's already a big issue,
Yeah, but
Because like in a healthy relationship, you can just ask.
But
And if you
that's
can't
why
ask, then there's a problem, you know?
that's why you should always just watch from through the people, and then call the police if necessary, like we did in Austin that one time.
Yeah. That was scary.
That was funny because not that part. I mean, she could have gotten hurt, but
I mean,
I don't care about that. But the it was funny because you were in the middle of making dinner when it happened, and the police like opened the door to get statements right as you were cooking bacon. He's like, "Wow, full strong bacon smoke coming from in here." I was like, "I don't know what you want from me, man."
and you know, like I'm really anxious, and I was much worse then. And like,
so
I'm
funny.
just sitting behind Jordan, like, he doesn't abuse me or anything. I just don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, I was like, dude, it's not even an issue, but you bring it up and question it, and it makes it like questionable, you know?
Yeah.
Like we'll all just be standing around having a good time, making jokes, laughing, whatever, and then you'll just be like, "Oh, I look awkward back here." He doesn't abuse me, I swear. And I'm like, "What? What are we? No one even accused that. No one is even thinking that right now, but now they are." And I'm like, "I don't. Okay, sure." Like,
It's the OCD.
I'm like, oh my God, they're all thinking about how I'm too quiet. Oh my God, they think I'm quiet because he beats me in his spare time and covers it up with high-end makeup. What?
I had to talk to a friend about this, and you know, like I talked to you about not about like OCD thoughts, but just these thoughts in general, where it's like some thoughts are inside thoughts.
Yeah, I was
it's the
going to
same
talk
with
about that
your
next.
OCD thoughts. Like one of my friends, she said the same thing, and I'm like, you don't have to tell everybody your anxiety thoughts. Like you don't have to tell them how bad your thoughts get. Like everybody's got shitty thoughts every once in a while, but like what you do with those thoughts is kind of what's the most important part of them, you know? And like sometimes your brain thinks dumb things.
Yeah, speaking of inside thoughts, I went to Lowe's the other day, and I went to get a part for, what was it, for the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
Fix the toilet, side note. But I went to go get a part. I know what aisle it's in. I know which area to look at. I'm walking that direction, right? I'm not wandering Lowe's, didn't have time. I stopped for this because it was like I stopped before I got to the right section of the aisle to text you this because it threw me off. I was walking, and there's a girl who she maybe looks like young 20s, probably, but she's standing there at her cart. The cart is next to that little display at Lowe's where you can test the screw guns by screwing into the wood.
I
you know
love
what I'm talking about? Yeah. So you can test the screw guns. They have blocks of wood and screws there. You can test them. It's pretty fun if you don't know what. Go try it.
You should go to Lowe's and test out the screw guns.
You should. It's pretty fun. It's loud. They'll hear you. They'll watch
everybody
you.
will know exactly what you're doing.
They'll watch you do it, but you're allowed to. Anyway, so I guess I don't know if she had a question or if it just got to be like that time of the week where Lowe's had to take the screws out and replace the wood. But one of the employees was messing with the screw gun, doing something with it. Like I don't know what she was doing, but she was selling the shit out of that drill. She was a good saleswoman, right? So like she was selling it to this teen, late 20, early 20s person who was just standing there. Cart was empty. I don't know why she had a cart.
Just staring
at drills. I don't know. But she was selling points for this drill. She's like, "Oh yeah, you can do this. You can do this. Here, I'll show you this." Was like doing like sales pitching this thing, right? And as I'm walking by, I'm maybe like this distance away. Like I'm maybe 5 feet away. As I'm just going down the aisle past these two women, and the one with the cart, she just out of nowhere goes, "Are you an only child? You give off that vibe." And the saleswoman was like, "Oh yeah," it was like just said something kind of awkward and like got back to her sales pitch, right? And then the woman at the cart goes, "Yeah, my since my mom had that first miscarriage, I give off that vibe too." And the saleswoman and I both kind of just stopped, and I like gave a side eye, and the saleswoman was like, I don't know where to go from here with the screw gun after that comment, you know?
Like, how did these two things connect?
And was like, I don't, okay, well, goes in reverse. Like I don't, like it's just out of left field, and the lady just didn't worry about it. Just anyway, and at that point I was at an earshot. I don't know what the rest of the conversation was, but boy was I thrown off enough that I was like, I gotta tell somebody that. Like I heard that very clearly. Same with I was looking at firearms the other day.
Oh yeah.
And I was talking to the sales rep.
That's the story I thought you were gonna tell originally. I was like,
this sales rep and I, we're going back and forth for probably like I'd say 10, 15 minutes. It's a good. What are you doing?
Trying to mute this.
Okay. Why would you do that?
I was gonna cough, but then I couldn't figure out. I don't think it worked.
Yeah, you're not muted. I don't know what you thought that would do.
I don't know. What does this do?
We'll click it and find out. Did it work?
I don't think so. I heard something.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. If you need to mute, there's a mute button right there.
Okay.
Look, unmuted. Unmuted. Well, don't do that. That's a crazy person.
We need a better system for holding this thing.
Yeah, it's on my list. Get over it. Anyway.
We have a long to-do list.
I was going back and forth with this sales rep. We're talking about different firearms, things that I'm looking for. Him and I are talking about some new ones that just came out. A couple of them, this and that, and the other. Well, while I'm looking at some, another customer comes in, and he goes, "Hey, I have a question." Like while we're still mid conversation, and I stopped talking, and I was like, "Do you take care of his question? I'm not, overly bothered by the what I'm doing. So I'm just watching. I'm, looking at different firearms, seeing what I wanted to pick up, test out next, And so he asked him a question. The salesperson responds, moves on, right? He tells him that he just bought a gun for like $90. And he tells him which gun it is. And the sales guy goes, "How did you get that gun for $90? It's usually like an $800 gun." Like, it's a fair question. Yeah. The guy goes, "Oh, no, I won it in a raffle. I bid 90 in the raffle for it." And he goes, "Okay, so you won it for 90. You didn't really buy it for 90. He's like, yeah. He's like, "Those are the same thing." And we're like, no.
No, it's a crucial difference.
No, they're not. I'm like, $90 is you bought a stolen gun. $90 in a raffle is, hey, you won a raffle.
Yeah.
Like, very different. Anyway, so he asked him a second question. He goes, "Hey, do you have it here? I want to take a look at it." And we're like, "Oh, you haven't seen it yet? Like, you haven't held it or anything?" He's like, "No, I won a raffle online. They're going to ship it somewhere, so I haven't, had it yet." The guy's like, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, let me pull it up." Pulls out the handgun, clears it, gives it to him. The guy's like, "Oh, yeah, this feels good. Oh, yeah, it's really nice. This is amazing. I can't wait to get mine in." And he's like, "Yeah, any questions about it, let me know." He's like, No, it's all good. I'd love this. And he gives the sales rep the firearm back, and he goes, "Well, now I got to get this thing shipped even sooner, man. I've got a hard on right now." And that's where the conversation took a left abruptly. And
I think it took quite a few, actually.
So I was just sitting there. I'm like 5 feet, 6 feet away looking at firearms, and I was like, I didn't hear him right. And the sales rep goes, "Oh, okay. Well, we can't ship your firearm here, so all right." And then like started walking back towards me and was like kind of looking around awkwardly. And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go take care of that," and walked off. You get the hell off that cord. And so
things are bad when it's so awkward that someone just has to be like, "Okay, I'm gonna go that way now." You don't even know how to make an excuse. You're just like, all right.
Well, we thought he was gonna go over to the other store, which we told him to go to get the firearm transferred there. Mm-hmm. But he just awkwardly walked off, like down the counterways, off towards the ends of the aisle. And you know how awkward things happen, and you're like, "Man, I hope no one saw that." So you look around. Mm-hmm. He made it like halfway down the store and then turned back like to see, and I was just staring down at him, and I was like, I was just shaking my head. This sales rep turns to me and goes, that was really awkward, right? Like it was a weird encounter. And I'm like, yeah, after that first question, which was a legitimate question, it just continued to take left
Maybe
turns.
it was like a social experiment.
He's like, yeah, that was weird. So the coworker came out, another sales rep came out, and so now the two coworkers are talking to each other, and one of the reps goes, hey, has holding a new gun ever given you a hard on? And the sales rep was like, the number two goes, no. Should I be using that in my sales pitch? I was like, no. If you handed me a firearm and said, oh, yeah, this one gives me a hard on, I'd hand it right back to you. I'd be like, then you can keep it. I don't want it.
What's like, I don't think there's anything like.
Like, imagine if you and I walked into a gun store and I was like, babe, pick out a firearm. You're like, let me hold that one. And they pick up, this lovely gun, and it's got cow print on it. And you pick it up and you're like, oh yeah, waterfalls just gushing.
Call me Sabrina Carpenter.
Just gush. Like, what are we doing?
Tears run down my thighs.
Like, oh my God. It was very.
It's like, I think the closest I get is I love saying like, oh, I'm a slut for that. Like, I'm a slut for a good book. I don't know why. I love saying that.
Oh, man.
I'm back on my historical romance bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it have to be historically accurate? Or if they throw in something random, are you going to be like, oh, no?
Because, like, half of it, I don't know shit about, like, the Regency area. Like, I just like to read the books about it. But if there's a wrong kind of address or they have a different kind of lemonade, I'm not going to be like,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like if you were reading historical romance and then all of a sudden there's like one of the clerks or of the clergy or somebody like has mystical powers because they work with God. Would that throw you off the book?
It depends on if I'm like if it's the.
What a jury duty answer. I don't even. You're not selected. Thank you.
You selected me for life.
Not for jury duty.
But it depends on the genre. So, like, historical romance by itself, like, no, because, like, having magical powers would be fantasy.
So you're saying you're denouncing the church and their ability to hear the word of God.
No.
I mean, that's what you just said. It's not historically accurate. That's what you told me. Yeah, I didn't think we were getting into this like philosophical debate, did you? Wait a minute.
Hold on a second. If the church and England haven't been able to solve this for thousands of years, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it in 5 minutes. So.
What their difference is? What do you mean? All you have to do is claim that you need that land over there to spread the word of God, and anyone who doesn't want that is the devil and needs to die.
Half the time, they weren't trying to spread the word of God. They were spreading them cheeks. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
All right.
You laughed at least a little bit. I guess we're going to have to talk about that movie in the next episode. I already forgot about it.
It was not a memorable experience. All right. Take us out of here.
All right. I'm Ripley. That thing over there is Jordan. We are your hosts of Mindless Prattle. We hope you enjoyed everything that you've heard. Please follow us on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, wherever you like to listen. I don't know what date this one's gonna. It's what